The loon is a poetic form that is very similar to the haiku and is often very simplistic. It's often referred to as like the American haiku, and that's because when it was created, it was created by a poet named Robert Kelly during the 60s, and he decided that since in English we tend to use less syllables than in Japanese, it's like decided it'd make more sense to create kind of our own version of the haiku that used less syllables. So he created the loon, and the syllable count for loons are 535 instead of the 575 of a haiku. And also with loons, like they can be about absolutely any topic, which is another reason that it's like called like the American haiku, because there's no limits. Whereas in a normal Japanese haiku, they pretty much have to be about nature. And the loon is usually very simplistic, but it can be about anything. And just a little fun fact, the word loon is French for moon, and it's called that because the middle line is shorter than the other two, so it's like a little crescent moon shape. Two examples of the loon that I found were both written by Roger Hancock, and neither of them have titles. The first one is "Down low on the sun dims, silhouettes, all within the path." And the other is "Freedom's sound released, bell proclaimed, sacrifice the cost." And then, my next poetry type is the elegy. And the elegy originally came from ancient Greece, and is most commonly used to express one's grief or sadness over usually losing a loved one. And it can be sung or just read as a poem. The elegy usually tends to show or exemplify 3 stages of like loss. The first being like the authors expressing their sorrow or grief over losing a loved one. The second being the author glorifying the person who had passed away, or maybe like recalling some happy memories that they had with that person. And the third one is basically like their acceptance of like the death or whatever like sad thing that they happen to be writing about. And like it's basically like how now they're like reassured and they're more comforted about like what happened. And one of my poems that I found for that was called "In Memory of W.B. Yeats" by W.H. Auden. With the farming of a verse, make a vineyard of the curse. Sing of human unsuccess in rapture of distress. In the deserts of the heart, let the healing fountain start. In the prison of his days, teach the freeman how to praise. And my other poem is "O Captain, My Captain" by Walt Whitman. And this one's really long. "O Captain, my captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack, the prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while fellow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. O Captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills. For you bouquets of ribbon wreaths, for you the shores a crowding. For you they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, It is some dream that on this deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer, his lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm, he has no pulse, no will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes with no objection won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I wish with mournful tread walk the deck my captain lies fallen cold and dead.